After not even a full year of Pokemon Legends Arceus, we already have Gen 9, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'm about 20 hours in so far, probably even more. I have some things that I want to say about it, both good and bad, so let's go ahead and start talking about it. The obvious first thing to say is that this is a very fun game. The first fully open world Pokemon game, giving us at least some of the stuff we've been asking for, i.e. they give us the choice to start at any gym we want and go in any order, giving us the illusion of having our own unique adventure. I like how the Pokemon react in the overworld. They act more like they do in Arceus than they do in Sword and Shield. They also act differently than they do in Arceus. In the Arceus video, I mentioned that I was curious if the mechanics would come over or not, and they surprisingly did, but differently. And I'm not sure if I like the differences or not, because I would love to be attacked by a Pokemon in the overworld or be in a herd battle rather than be forced into single battle after single battle. Something I like better than Arceus though are the Titan Pokemon, which are these mutated huge Pokemon. I like them so much better than the noble Pokemon because, well, we're not throwing bombs. While I did like the mechanic, it's very easy to memorize one and just do the same thing for every battle. I'd rather just battle with a giant Pokemon with a huge bar, beat them once, and then they get a second round and they're even stronger after that. I love that. There's one mechanic that changed that I think is better than in Sword and Shield, and it's raid bosses. I think it's more balanced than in Sword and Shield, and I like the terrestrializing a lot since it's not limited to just the raid boss. It gives time for strategy for once. Well, that is, if you can find a strong raid boss at least. Currently, I've only struggled on 4-star bosses that I only saw like 2 so far. The graphics? Well, the graphics are still one of the things a lot of people complain about Pokemon with. I wouldn't have had a problem with it, but time isn't spent to make the mechanics the best they possibly can be. Time isn't spent to make the animation look as smooth as possible. I would give animation a lot of leeway, which you would know if you've seen some of my cartoon reviews. I would give it a lot of leeway if they used the time from that to do some other stuff. That's always a possibility, but they don't, and I don't know why. There are glitches in the game. At times when it rains, or in that one gym challenge where you had to herd up a bunch of Sunflora, the game struggles with frame rate issues. And you know, I'm not typically a person to notice frame rate issues, but these are so jarring, you move so clunky and so slow, it's hard not to notice in this game. But if you are familiar with Scarlet's Resident Evil 5 video, then you know where I'm about to go with this. Teaming up with people, co-op play. It's fun to have someone in the overworld with me while I do stuff. I would love it if it was more similar to Resi 5 and we could go on the whole story together. We can just go through the game together, team fight gems and all. I would love that. But it's still really fun as is. While this game definitely has its problems, it's probably one of the better Pokemon games to come out. Miles better than Sword and Shield. I don't know if I put this over Arceus or not though. It feels like Pokemon has a renewed sense of adventure within it since Arceus, and I do think that feeling is more prevalent in here than in Arceus. I miss gyms so much, Jesus Christ, oh my god. But I just can't look past the graphics. They look about the same or even worse than Sword and Shield, and god, I just can't look past that. There's also a lot of Pokemon in here, new and old. I do love that. But that's basically it. These are my first opinions on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I do like this game a lot. I am having such a fun time with this game. There's just a lot of things, a lot of potential that this has. I've been saying this since Sword and Shield, that these games have a lot of potential, and I expect that to come to fruition within future Pokemon games. I've been saying that for like 4 years now, and while advances have been made, they still have a long ways to go before it's like the best Pokemon game ever. They're so close with this one, but because it feels like it's sort of rushed, it's not there. I love this game, but it feels so rushed, genuinely, so it's not there yet. Maybe the next gen, if Pokemon would just give themselves some time to like make the game better and everything, 2 years, 3 years even, to make a really good game and not be forced to release these year by year, or with Arceus within the same year. Just, I don't know, do something else. Like, make a side game series that you can put out as well. I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking because I'm gonna start rambling on. But with that being said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, give me your opinions in the comments down below, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. Okay. Goodbye.